Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Virtual Esport F1. This is round 6 of 15. Let me just quickly jump in the party. Apologies, I did the same last week. Welcome to Virtual Esport F1. Round 6 of 15. This week we are in the mountains of Austria, the Spielberg circuit, for what should be a tight and tantalizing race around this lovely circuit. So far it's looking dry for qualifying, which is nice to see, as the first few cars make their way out on track. Quickly go through the standings after last week's race in Canada. As I'm guessing we've got a new Red Bull livery. That's pretty neat. Is that from Japan earlier this year? It is, I believe. I do like that an awful lot. One of the better Red Bull liveries for sure. So the standings currently, Yanislav leads the way on 120 points, and then on 100 points is Formula Phantom in second. Then we've got James, the Ferrari driver, in third position. And then fourth, we've got Darius in the Aston Martin. Fifth, we've got Jelmel. In sixth, we have Drogon in the Ferrari. Then at seventh, we've got BGR Atmos in the Haas. Josh Tagai, reserve. BGR, SX Perry in ninth in Kick Sauber. We've got Stephen in 10th in the McLaren, Rob Sue in the Mercedes in 11th. And yeah, that is pretty much it. We got Dennis in 13th, B Plays in 14th, Joe, who's no longer with us, in 15th. Then we've got Dens, Chili, Ivanov, Avenir, and Wizard, rounding off the 20 drivers thus far. So a few drivers are finishing a lap, and as I believe Jelmel does go to the top of the timesheets with a 1:06. I'm sure that time will be beaten. I've seen a race here recently and times getting into the 1:04s, looking fairly it will be a fairly competitive time. Yanislav is on out there. B Plays. Okay, Visa Cash App have also got a special livery as well. Okay, nice. It's going to be weird getting used to all these new liveries. Just quickly for the constructors, Kick Sauber lead the way on 146 points. Ferrari in second on 133 points, so 13-point difference there. It's pretty tight for the constructors. Then we got the Racing Bulls on 112, Haas on 103, Aston Martin on 92, Mercedes on 60, McLaren on 48, Red Bull on 32, Williams on 23, and Alpine on 8 points. So Darius is coming round to finish his lap. Doesn't invalidate, keeps the car within the white lines as he comes up to the line, and that is a 1:04.4. And yes, I can see a very low 1:04, probably ceiling pole. Now is the man to watch, as he is our championship leader, going purple in the second sector as well. I wouldn't be surprised if now can actually get into the 1-minute freeze potentially, such to the pace I've seen from him so far. As he comes around the last corner, throws that Sauber in beautifully, comes up to the line. It's a 1:03.4. That is monstrous by Yanal. A superb lap, and I cannot see that time getting beat. 0.999 of a second ahead of everyone. So that's a crazy lap from the Kicksauber. Yeah, he means business tonight. Ferrari coming up to the line, which was Drogon with a 1 minute 5.4. As we do have James on a lap at the moment. We'll also keep an eye on B-Plays, who does run wide, actually. Comes up to the line. It's third position with a 1 minute 5.1. So James coming around the last corner now. Up to the line in the Ferrari, and he goes up to third with a 1 minute 5.0. So already a gaping chasm to the leader is the only way I can describe it. A ferocious lap from Yanao. So the Red Bull Ring consists of the least amount of corners on the F1 calendar, just 10 corners officially on this circuit. So it's a very short circuit, a very thrilling lap as well. Although there's only 10 corners, it is really enjoyable to drive and feels so good if you can get it right. Seven of the 10 corners are right-handers, only 3 left-handers on the circuit, I believe, to my maths. Turn 2, turn 6, and turn 7 officially. And then the rest are right-handers. I do enjoy this track. It is I was so happy to see it return to the F1 calendar. It went off the calendar for a little while in real life. But it was really good to get it back. It's a circuit I've always enjoyed watching and racing on. So yes, the times for qualifying are slowly coming in, as looks like we're going to have a good scrap for the 1 minute 5 drivers, 4th onwards. Even Dennis in third in the Red Bull is within touch. Darius, and that is Dennis going into the barrier. I'm not too sure what happened there, whether it's just trying to get out of someone's way. So we have 3 drivers to set a lap. We have Denz 01, Formula Phantom, last week's winner in Canada, and Wumax to set a lap. We'll keep an eye on who is. See who is on a lap. James won't be on a lap. What about Dennis isn't going to be on a lap. No, not with that front wing damage. So Wumax is the next driver to cross the line to start a lap. So we'll sit on board with Wumax. So he's negotiated turn 1, the first official DRS zone on the track, uphill. That's turn 2. You can't really see it. And then turn 3 is this really tight right-hander. Probably the most important corner on the track to get your braking and acceleration absolutely bang on. Then you come up to turn 4, keep the car over as far left as possible, clip the curb. And then this is turn 5 here, this little kink. And then turn 6 is this left-hander. And open the track up as wide as you can, take as much curb as you can. Turn 7 and turn 8, and then all of a sudden there are 2 corners left to go, as they are the fastest corners on the track, and you want to nail these corners absolutely right and keep the car within track limits, which Wumax does nicely. Races to the line. It is a 1 minute 4.682, so a very good lap from Wumax there. Last week's winner, Formula Phantom, in the very pretty pink Visa Cash App car, comes up to the line, Formula Phantom, and goes second with 1 minute 4.1. Yanal will take some beating, but if anyone can beat him, it will be Formula Phantom, as Yanal is out on track. Will he go faster? So everybody has now indeed set a lap. We have a few drivers. Yanal coming up to the first sector line. He is up on his time, as if he doesn't really need to go any faster. He is on a mission in that Kix Alba. As there's a bit of traffic ahead, will they see he's coming and stay out of his way? We shall see. So you're now taking as much curb as possible, clipping the inside there nicely. You don't want to touch that inside curb, it will really disturb the car. And he is almost 2 tenths up on his time. This is absolutely crazy. He's on for 1 minute 3.2. If he can nail this last sector, and the car looks planted beautifully, and yes, this is going to be an improvement, surely. It's a 1 minute 3.3, lost a little bit of time in sector 3, but that is a very scary time by the Kix Alba. Very scary. I'd say it was a good second, faster than what I could manage. So Darius is on the lap, but I think he is out of ERS. Yeah, he's half a second down. We do have Jamel in the Haas car down in 7th. Has quietly had a few good results recently as the Haas driver. So he'll be looking to build on a good start in the Haas. As he comes up to the line, he is improving. And if he does improve, he could potentially go up to P5 here, which put him slap bang in the middle of the field here for the Haas. So we'll see how he can do around turn 9, turn 10, up to the line, and he does improve to 1 minute 4.7, and it's a good improvement actually, just over 3 tenths. He'll be very happy with that. B plays as invalidated, and he is going to go again by the looks of things. Just under 5.5 minutes left of this qualifying session. Qualifying sessions always go fast when you commentate on them. It's different when you drive them, but when you commentate on them, the time does disappear very quickly. James is just starting a lap as well, as we'll keep an eye on the next few drivers. Jail just done a lap, and I think he's coming into the pits. I'm sure he will be. Yeah, he's 2.7 seconds down. So we'll ride on board with B plays and see if he's going to improve his position in the Racing Bull. Racing Bulls will be looking for a strong outing here, and he is a whopping 4 tenths up at the moment. As if he carries on, he could potentially be P4 if he carries on improving at this rate. Negotiates turn 9, turn 10. And there we go, up to the line, and he does indeed go up to P4, a half a second improvement, at 1 minute 4.589, a good lap. We did have James on the lap, yes. And he is coming round turn 10. Up to the line, he is fractionally up, I believe, and he crosses the line up to P6. Found 2 tenths, so 1 minute 4.7 is a good lap for the Ferrari driver. So it's looking pretty tight from 4th downwards. We've got our 3... definitely our usual suspect in P1 as he comes out for his final run, and does he even need to come out to defend his pole? It's an absolutely frightening time. I can't get my head around with how quick that is. A testament to how good of a driver he is, though. He is a real talent on F125. Dennis has invalidated, so he will get to go again. Womax on a lap. He is invalidated as well, I believe. James will be coming into the pits. He should have enough time, or is he going to go again? James is going to go again, I think, yeah. So I imagine these drivers are on their third and final runs due to the short nature of the track. James does have time to go again. So we'll stick with you now then. He is on his final run, I believe, in the Kick Sauber. And can he improve on that monstrous time as he gets a slipstream from that Gelmel? As he comes up to turn 3, he is up on his time, but only by 0.008 of a second. So pretty much matching his time as he opens his DRS coming up to turn 4. Staying as far left as possible and then clipping the curb. Oh, he's had a bit of a snap there, and that was almost certainly going to be this lap over for him. I'm sure of it. He's down by just over a tenth. We'll be cursing that mistake. He's still going for it though. He's not going to back down. Has he got enough fuel in the tank to go for another lap? We shall see. No, you're now just staying out the way. And I imagine he's probably going to get himself retired or disqualified. Parking there like that isn't ideal. So you now has been disqualified. So yes, Darius is our provisional pole sitter, and Formula Phantom is just behind. But I don't think Formula Phantom will he have time to get to line to improve. He should do. 35 seconds left. He has got to conserve as much ERS as possible in that time. So Darius is actually improving here in the Aston Martin, I believe, as he's got 2 corners left to negotiate. Throws the Aston Martin in beautifully there and around the final corner. And this is going to be a good lap from Darius. It's a 1 minute 3.6. That is a brilliant lap from Darius. Absolutely superb lap from the Aston Martin driver, and perhaps giving Yanal some food for thought, as Yanal will be starting from the back of the field. Formula Phantom will not get another lap in. Gelmel, I missed that, goes up to 3rd position as we have got Womax on a lap. We also have Stephen, who didn't get a chance to cross the line. James is off the track. Not too sure there. So I believe Womax is the only real driver who is on a lap at the moment. So Womax looks like he's up a considerable amount of time as well. So he's got 2 corners to go. Clips the inside nicely there and around turn 10 nicely, keeping the car on the track up to the line. This could be P3. It is P3 for Womax. So 1 minute 4.2. So a respectable lap from Womax. I think that's everybody done. As Valtteri Bottas did, cutting the grass. Was that 2020 or 2021 in the Mercedes? The Valtteri Bottas lawnmower services, but this time it's the Darius lawnmower services in the Aston Martin as throws his car in. Not too sure what's going on here with Darius. As he comes into the pit lane, and that is him done. Just waiting for a few drivers to retire. Darius, B-Plays are the 2 left. So, qualifying order is Darius in pole position, Formula Phantom in second, and then Bluemax in third. Jalmel is in fourth. B Plays is in fifth. James is in sixth. Dennis in seventh. Drogon down in eighth. Dens 01 in ninth. FRL Stephen in 10th. And Yunao, who would have been our pole sitter, got disqualified. And there we have it. That is our results for tonight. Qualifying results at the very least. We do have the small matter of the race to go, and dare I say, the clouds are looking a bit mean. And is it starting to rain? Looks like we have got rain, Jelmel, and it looks like it is actually just starting to rain on the grid as well. Very interesting. Austria always throws up some very interesting weather conditions. So we shall see. We shall see what's going to happen. Oh, very interesting. As I've been told, it's a dry to wet to dry, but I think we're going to be starting in the wets almost. Well, the driver's going to be on dry tyres, but it is raining. So we have a conundrum here for some of these drivers. Let's just quickly get... We'll quickly get the tyres up. So it's spitting with rain, and a lot of the drivers are opted for the medium tyres. 9 of the 11 drivers, only 2 drivers on the hards, which is Jelmel and Dens, as everyone else is on the mediums here. We will quickly put up the position change for the race start, see who does start well. So interesting conditions. How long is it going to be like this? It is raining, just ever so lightly, and interesting to see the drivers with the hard tyres as well. How long will this will it stay dry for? Is the hard tyre the right tyre to be on? Will be hard to light up or get the grip and temperature into the tyres early on. The medium runners will be very strong in these conditions. So Darius will line up on the grid in pole for Aston Martin. Second is Formula Phantom. Third is Wumax. Fourth is Jalmel. Fifth is B Plays. James is in sixth. Dennis in seventh. Drogon disqualified in eighth. Right. 36 laps of Austria is about to start. Now, let's go racing. Darius gets a good start. So does Formula Phantom, who will want to match his result from last week. These two had a good ding-dong battle in Canada, as Formula Phantom does indeed get into the lead, but Darius has something to say about that. There is James and Stephen at the back there, the McLaren and Ferrari driver, already gifting 2 places to you now, as the Racing Bull and the Aston Martin are fighting at the front, as B Plays is up 1 position, Jalmel's lost a place, Dennis is up 1, Drogon's up 1 position, as Dennis DRK is at 2 positions, Jalmel's lost 2, and Yanao is up 2, courtesy of the Ferrari and the McLaren spinning at the back. Darius and Formula Phantom going side by side, the 2 medium running tyres, as they will need to try and work together to build as much of a gap as possible to Yanao. Otherwise, it could be lights out early doors for these two cars, as they will be very keen to drop the train behind. So already we have a DRS train forming here on lap 2. Be very interesting to see if these guys are going to use a bit of teamwork to build up a gap. But actually, Formula Phantom having a look at the inside of Darius there, lights up the rears, and maybe the track just getting a little bit greasy and slippery already, as Formula Phantom follows Darius round turn 4. Womax is in P3, and we'll keep an eye on Yanao here. He's got his eye on 2 positions, as the Haas and the Ferrari in front of Gelmel and Drogon are battling, but also losing crucial time to the front runners. So DRS will be activated again. Darius takes a very interesting line into turn 9 and 10. Gets as much curb as possible. I'm surprised it really doesn't unsettle the car, as Darius sets the fastest lap. And he is the driver on the move at the moment. Time penalties will be a huge factor here for track limits, as Formula Phantom is about to have a look at the inside of Darius, I believe. Yes, he is. He sends it up the inside, as Darius holds it around the outside in the Aston Martin and gets ahead of Formula Phantom, as maybe just biding his time as Formula Phantom, but Darius did show really good one-lap pace in qualifying, and I wouldn't be surprised if this is his true pace around here as well, managing to hold off. Yanao is up into 6th position. He has got past Drogon and Gelmel, and already closing up, and there is a car just off ahead, as actually there is a Red Bull spinning in the background as well of Dennis. His found an escape road, but you don't want to be out there, as now Formula Phantom has had a moment I see a minute ago, and Womax inherits 2nd position. So Darius now in the lead by 7/10, and can Womax trouble the Aston Martin in front, as now you're now just doing what he does best. He is biding his time, and actually this looks like it could be into conditions already. Let's get the position change off and get the tyres on. Dennis DRK at the back has jumped onto the intermediate tyres. He's had enough, and already looking at the track, I must say it is looking ready for inters. Womax is catching up to Darius. Darius is not comfortable now. The track is transitioning over to intermediate conditions, as this is working beautifully for the train behind. Formula Phantom just outside the DRS, but it's closing in, and they're bringing you now with them. Are both the Red Bulls, Visa Cash App Red Bulls anyway. Everyone opting to stay out at the moment, but Yanao isn't. Yanao is coming into the pits, and I agree with him. This is time for intermediates. Looking at the track, slows the car down in time as well. Nicely done. So Womax and Darius are our front 2 runners, and we have Formula Phantom looking to reclaim 2nd position after a scary moment he had not long ago. In 3rd position. So we'll keep an eye on Yanao. James has come into the pits in the Ferrari as well and bolted on a set of the intermediate tyres. Interesting to see how this track always throws up such interesting racing conditions. So yes, it's going to rain for a little while and then dry up again towards the end of the session. So very intriguing stuff on who can manage the correct strategy here, as we have three cars in for intermediate tyres already. Looks like Darius will be coming into the pits. Around the outside goes Womax. Womax stays out. Formula Phantom coming into the pits, and he's right on the back of the Aston Martin. as Darius really lighting up the rears going into the pits, takes out the pit marker board, as we are seeing a lot of drivers actually coming in to bolt on the intermediate tyres. Someone's getting held up in the pits. Yanao is coming out the pits, and Yanao leads the race, and he did pit at the absolute optimum time. I did call it a lap ago. That would have been the lap I would have come in and boxed. So now Darius finds himself just within a second of Yanao. Does Darius have the pace to keep the Kick Sauber honest? But the Kick Sauber's intermediate tyres will be kicking into life. They have an extra lap's life on them, and Formula Phantom also just outside of a second of Darius, and we have definitely our three protagonists on the podium as it stands. So Jailmel and B-Play is having a good battle here for fifth position. Jailmel with a great swooping overtake. Is that around the outside? Still not complete, but this time he has got it done. He is missing a front left end plate. That will be really hurting that Haas car in these treacherous intermediate conditions at the moment. Drogon is our first driver on lap 7 of 36 to pick up a track limit penalty. So there is no more DRS, but we do have a charging Aston Martin driver chasing down Yanao here, and Formula Phantom is within reach as well. But here comes the Aston Martin of Darius. Is he going to make a move at the inside? He isn't. Both cars just sliding into turn 4 in these conditions, as now we do have a good race on our hands here for sure. Yanao runs deep and opens the door for Darius here. Darius will not back out of this. He sends his car at the inside there, and there was enough room for that overtake, as Yanao left the door open there, I felt, as he does indeed get himself back into the lead. He will not want to battle the Aston Martin driver any longer than he would have to. Darius does pick up 3 seconds for track limits, a crucial 3 seconds, but can Darius get ahead of Yanao and drop him potentially? Formula Phantom just sitting back here knowing what he's got to do, as maybe wait for a mistake by these two or coming together. Darius is looking at the outside of the Kick Sauber. The Kick Sauber opted for the outside line last time and got ahead. So will Darius do it this time? As Darius is side by side with the Kick Sauber. Who's going to break the latest here into turn 4? The Kick Sauber does, but Darius is still on the outside. Is a complete pest to the Kick Sauber, as Darius again looks up the inside of Yanao, and an aggressive move there by Darius, but he's got the job done. Perhaps Yanao just leaving the door open ever so slightly for the Kick Sauber, and maybe Yanao isn't as comfortable in these wet conditions, but no, Yanao takes the lead straight back off of Darius. Maybe Darius just backed off there, maybe felt his overtake potentially was a bit too much, and gifting the Kick Sauber his position back. Formula Phantom just sitting back, as I would probably be doing, letting these two battle and seeing how it transpires. If they carry on battling hard, then there will almost certainly be incidents, but will Formula Phantom take it upon himself to maybe make a move or a surprise move on one of these drivers at least to get second position, or could he get both? So this time Darius will have the inside line going into turn 4. How late will they break? Side by side stuff. This is really entertaining stuff by the top two. Side by side pretty much through most of sector 2 here, as Yanao this time just defending with his life, and Darius gets the up and over, but a little bit of contact between Yanao and Darius there, Just keeping it very, very interesting between them both. Formula Phantom just surely will be biding its time for these two to come together if they carry on racing as they are. The closest battle on the field at the moment pretty much is for the three podium sitting drivers, as the rain has settled in for these intermediate conditions. So Darius does have the lead. How will you now respond to Darius in the lead? Does he have the pace to answer Darius? And watch out for Formula Phantom in the Racing Bull in third position. Just keeping these top two very honest. Last week's race winner will be looking to build on the momentum of a superb drive at Canada and introduce himself into this championship battle, where Yanao seems to be the runaway leader as it stands. So the other two closest cars on track is the two Ferraris of Drogon and James, down in P9 and P10. But for the interest of entertainment, we will ride on board with these front three as it stands, as everyone else seems to be settled down and running as they should. But Darius is actually pulling away in the Aston Martin. Maybe Yanao isn't so confident in these wet conditions, and we got to keep an eye on this Racing Bull here. Does he have the pace to challenge Darius? And he will need to get past Yanao as soon as possible if he's going to keep Darius competitive, at least, as Darius is actually just storming away now. He's got clear of Yanao and 1.9 seconds clear, 2 seconds clear going into sector 3 on lap 11. Darius does have 3 seconds, and that is Yanao's card up his sleeve at the moment. He does not have a time penalty, so just needs to stay within 3 seconds to claim the race win. Formula Phantom perhaps looking for a move at the inside of Yanao there, and I think Yanao is really struggling here. It's not often we say that in virtual esport. The Kick Sauber is really struggling for pace in the wet. In the dry, he's scarily fast, but maybe the wet conditions is his kryptonite here. .6 seconds is the gap to Darius, and Formula Phantom does go for a move. A late move it was, but respectable. And there is a coming together ever so slightly there, but I think there is no harm done. But it's Christmas for Darius. It's come a week early, as the gap now is 4 seconds, as Darius and Formula Phantom are fighting really hard for P2. As yes, as I said, Darius' Christmas has arrived a week early, as he will be extremely grateful for that present by Formula Phantom, just unsettling Yanao in the Kick Sauber. The gap to Womax behind is 8.6 seconds, so there's a clear pace difference between these top three. Out front, really slidey is the Racing Bull on the back of Yanao, as Jelmel and Dennis have closed up, and the rain does actually look like it is it's still raining, but will hopefully start easing off shortly, and we'll go back to dry conditions. So it's imperative that Darius does build up as much of a gap he can as he can now. He has got Yanao behind him, because I'd imagine when that starts drying up, Yanao will start clawing back that gap. We'll ride on board with Dennis and Jelmel fighting back down in P6 and P7, just holding on as tight as they can as that is a big lunge by Dennis. That was a bit crazy, as Drogon goes up the inside of Dens in the Ferrari here. Drogon up to P8, but does have a time penalty, but Dennis did back out of that move, in fairness, as that's what we like to see. So Formula Phantom on the back of you now. 6 seconds is the gap to Darius, so he does have 3.1 seconds in his pocket at the moment for the race win. We're on lap 14 of 36. This is getting very, very interesting. The weather conditions has made it interesting enough, where the drivers started on dry tyres, but it was raining on the formation lap. So now we will see how it all unfolds. It looks like it is drying up. The rain potentially has stopped, so now it's all about picking the right time to go on to the dry tyres. This is enthralling stuff, and the rain has indeed stopped, I believe. Looking at the screen, I can't see any rain falling down, no. So we do have dry conditions to come, I'd imagine, in the next lap or two. Who's going to blink first and get back onto the dry tyres? Darius will want to time this absolutely perfectly, but you now timed it absolutely perfectly last time out. I think it's probably a bit too early for dry tyres. Perhaps another lap or two to get this right, but someone further back, I'm sure, will gamble to try and get this absolutely bang on. Will Formula Phantom, who indeed actually does pick up a 3-second track limit penalty, as we do have drivers coming into the pits. I'm sure that could be for hard tyres. Hard tyres should get to the end of the Grand Prix from here, as it is going to be a 2-stop race, but not for the dry tyres all the way through. Everyone's been on inters, so you can race on the two same compounds if you want to. So if you started on hard, you can go to intermediates and back to hards, as the two different compound window does go out the window in wet conditions. So will Darius box, or is he going to stay out for another lap? Darius is going to box. Yanal comes into the box, and Formula Phantom is going to come into the box too. Okay then, so everybody beginning to pit. Dens at the back is on the medium tyres. That is going to be a big ask to get them to the end from here. Darius goes onto the medium tyres as well. Interesting move from the Aston Martin driver. Yanal goes onto hards. Formula Phantom goes onto hards as well, as Yanal does come out ahead of Formula Phantom. It did look a bit closer, but perhaps just a slight bit of lag, just correcting itself there. So out of the pits, they all come. B-Plays now 3 seconds. Down in 9th position or 8th. Actually, he's gaining a load of positions. Is Racing Bull, because everyone is in the pits. So Darius does have a tyre advantage, and I'll imagine that gap will increase, but can he get these medium tyres to do 21 laps around Austria? That is going to be a big ask, but if he's got to pit again, he is going to have a lot of work to do, so he needs to build a substantial gap to Yanal, as I'd imagine Yanal, now it's starting to dry up again. He will be a threat for the race win again. There is a Ferrari round at the back here. In the barrier is James, as not too sure what's going on here for James. Gets himself moving again. Not too sure what was going on there for James. He is missing his front right end plate with his escapade with the barrier. So Formula Phantom has lost ground to Yanal. Maybe just not getting that overtake done in the wet is probably going to hurt his bid for a higher position here. But he could be on for a P2. It's going to be very interesting to see whether Darius can get these mediums to the end, I very much doubt it. It's going to be hard work for the Aston Martin driver. So can he build up enough of a gap to definitely eat away? You're now in another stint maybe, but the gap is slowly holding now. Darius has warmed up those medium tyres now and making the most of the life that they've got in them, but picks up another track limit penalty. 6 seconds for Darius. Now his advantage is only 0.9 of a second, 0.8 of a second. Is the Aston Martin driver. James is in the pits in the Ferrari and finds himself a lap down in P11. Formula Phantom just hanging on to the back of Yanao. The gap isn't increasing as much as I thought it would be. We have a few drivers back here, so we have all aboard the Jail Mail train as Jail Mail sits in 5th, B Plays is in 6th, Dennis has a spin in 7th, half spin anyway, and he's retired. He's had enough of that. Retiring on track. Not sure if that's allowed in the rules here. Usually frowned upon in a lot of leagues, retiring on track, which can cause unnecessary safety cars. So the gap out front is slowly coming down. Yanao is closing the gap to Darius. Darius's advantage is only 0.3 of a second at the moment. Now he has 6 seconds worth of time penalties. We will get the penalty situation on the board. It would help if I could get it right. Yeah, so Darius is on 6, and then the other 4 penalty-ridden drivers are on 3 seconds. Formula Phantom, B Plays, Drogon, and Dens are the other offenders of the track limits thus far. So very interesting race scenario we've got going on here. We've seen dry to wet to dry conditions at Spielberg here. So a great track is throwing up a great race and great weather conditions, I must say. We love to see it. Really, it's a good test of everybody's ability. Some drivers prosper in the wet conditions, and whilst some drivers who normally prosper in the dry conditions do struggle in the wet. Yanao sets the fastest lap and now is slowly beginning to reel in Darius, and that was almost certainly a track limits warning there for Yanao in turn 1. So a huge gap between Formula Phantom and Womax. The gap is 16.8 seconds. Pretty much Formula Phantom will have a pit stop in the bank. Surely if he wanted to, in 6 or 7 laps to perhaps do something different. And Darius is imploding again with track limits. He's got 9 seconds now, and perhaps just pushing a little too hard is the Aston Martin driver. I'm all for pushing hard, but he's going to cost himself P2 if he carries on racing like this. Maybe it's just a race of a damage limitation with these penalties now, as he will definitely need to keep it clean, as definitely for Formula Phantom will have a shout of P2 if he gets another penalty. I think he's just got enough in the bank to hang on to P2 as it stands. Yeah, so Formula Phantom will need to be within 6 seconds of Darius to claim P2, and I think he's just a little bit out of that range as it stands at the moment. Darius is pushing really hard. We do have a battle going on back here between Jalmel and B Plays, as Jalmel gets overtaken by B Plays for P5 here. as the battle is carrying on around turns 6 and 7 between these two drivers here in the midfield. But that missing front left end plate is really going to be hurting that Haas driver. But B Players has got the overtake done, and he is on his merry way. Let's have a look at the tyre situation. Mel is on the medium tyres as well. So I'll imagine the medium tyres probably won't be far off. 6 laps, and I don't think they last too long around here. There is a retirement there for Dens, and it's a virtual safety car, I believe. It's not a full course safety car. I'm going to say that is a VSC. So if Darius is going to pit, or if he does need to make a pit stop, now would be the most opportune moment to get it done and dusted. If he's not going to get these mediums to the end and he is coming into the pits, you now will inherit the lead to this race, as I'm sure he will go to the end. But Darius won't lose as much time in the pits here, as the medium runner gets rid of his tyres. He is in and he's throwing on the hard tyres. They will be 7 laps younger than Yanal's, and the VSC is still out at the moment, so the longer it stays out for Darius here, the better, as he does indeed come out of the pit lane. Just watch the delta as you come out, otherwise it'll all go to waste. So interesting from Darius there. Mel is coming into the pits to get rid of his hard tyres, but will the VSC end while he's in the pits? It's been out for some time now. Hopefully it's kind to him and stays on whilst he is in the pit lane. And that was a bit of lag for Mel there. Still keeps the front wing with the missing front left end plate, and we are back racing. So the two Dennises or Dens are out in the Aston Martin and Red Bull. So Yanal is in the lead of this Grand Prix. Does not have a track limits penalty. Does have Formula Phantom behind him, and Darius also behind him. So I'll imagine this could be another procession for Yanal on lap 24 of 36. Womax having a very lonely race in P4 at the moment. Does have B plays closing in behind, but Womax does not have a track limits penalty, and that could be vital in his bid for P4 here, as only 4 drivers left in the race do not have track limits penalties. The remaining 5 do. So yes, Yanal, Womax, Stephen and James are the drivers without track limits. It is very hard to do that at this track. So Darius will be closing up to the back of Formula Phantom very quickly on these fresh hard tyres. I wonder if that was a strategy error or whether he thought he just could get the mediums to the end. Tyre wear, I think, around here is pretty painful. So it'd be interesting to see whether Darius can dispatch Formula Phantom, which I'm confident he will do. But will Darius be able to catch up to you now in the lead and threaten him at least? Formula Phantom has just got to stay within 6 seconds, remember, of Darius, and he could still end up with P2. That's the conundrum Darius has got here. He needs to drop the Racing Bull as he looks to the outside, as the very defensive is the Racing Bull, and there is contact there, and that is damage for Darius. Around the outside, these two did come to blows last week in Canada as well, as this battling is almost certainly gifting Yanal a comfortable race win, and Darius will be furious with that front wing damage. I can't really recall how on how that incident occurred, or how much track there was for them both to race. It's not for me to say really either. It's down to the stewards just to decide, but that will almost hurt Darius's bid, as Formula Phantom gets another penalty and just now needs to stay within 3 seconds of Darius. But I feel Darius is tyre aware. Tyre life will come to his saviour here. So 4.8 seconds to Yanal. We'll see the gap if it's really beginning to hurt his tyres. This front wing damage is really beginning to hurt his pace, maybe. 4.6 at the moment. The closest battle on track at the moment is Formula Phantom and Darius, although it's Darius is pulling away now quite nicely, as that front wing end plate was really hurting him around these left-handers. Thankfully, there's only 3 left-handers on the circuit, and now Darius will be able to use these right-hand turns to his advantage. Yanislav is in the pits and gets 10 seconds for speeding in the pit lane. Wow, very interesting. So Yanal couldn't get the hards to the end. He boxes again for another set of hards. As out the pit lane, he does come in the kick Sauber. Wumax will be interested to see what's going on here with these cars. He's built up a gap to B players behind, as unfortunately just outside the podium there isn't really too much going on, but this is turning into a bit of a lottery for the top 3. So we will get the penalty situation up as it stands. So as at the moment, if Formula Phantom stays within 3 seconds of Darius, he will win this race. Yanal, with 10 seconds, has almost certainly bins this race. It will be very hard for him to catch back up and overtake, as Yanal gets past James in the Ferrari at the back of the field. So now we have, I believe this is 9 racing laps to go, and this is going to be tight to call between these top drivers. Formula Phantom just hovering around the 3-second gap at the moment. So as it stands, Darius will be the race winner in the Aston Martin. But Yanal's pace is going to be really scary. Now he's on fresh tyres and he can just go hell for leather to the end now. He's got 10 seconds, but his qualifying pace, if that's anything to go by, will be absolutely frightening to the top 2 now. But he's got a lot of work to do in these last 9 laps or so, as Yanal. So we'll keep an eye on that gap to see how quickly it comes down. Formula Phantom has fallen out of Darius's 3 seconds cushion or buffer that he needed pretty quick, as Darius at the moment is in a net P1 and is doing a great job out front in the Aston Martin. Formula Phantom he was looking ahead not so long ago, but now he'll be looking behind at this Kick Sauber, who is absolutely flying at the moment. He is definitely in the zone, is Yanal, and maybe just making this race interesting for himself. Boxing on that last lap, and the time penalty just spicing things up. Wonder if he did box to maybe make this race a bit more entertaining for himself, but accidentally picking up a 10-second time penalty along the way, as I don't think he'd be too happy with himself for that. Yanal usually has a very good record. When he races, he wins. So I don't think he'll settle for P3 or even P2 here. Formula Phantom is in the pits. Perhaps tyre wear being a lot harsher than we originally expected. So now Yanal needs to get past Darius and clear him and be ahead by 1 second come the end of the race. This is going to be really interesting. We're going to stay on board with Yanal as much as possible, as Wumax is just outside of DRS on Formula Phantom. Formula Phantom on new medium tyres, as I'm sure he will be able to build up the gap to Wumax. But actually, yes, Formula Phantom does have 6 seconds Wumax with nothing. So Wumax at the moment potentially could inherit a podium. Very interesting to see. So the gap to the leader is actually coming down, and that was a second on that lap, and just over a second actually. Has Yanal got the time to claw Darius in? Darius is out of ERS as well, as Yanal will be managing his ERS a little bit better. He's got half a battery in the kick Sauber, whereas Darius has nothing. So we'll see how Darius can manage this next problem he is going to face. And that problem is in the green and black car of the kick Sauber, not laying down and not giving up this race win as Darius would like him to. Formula Phantom is finding some incredible pace as well in the Racing Bull. I can't see Wumax keeping with him at the moment. Drogon and B-Plays, the closest battle on the field at the moment, going into turn 4 and turn 5. And it is for race position that they've got the same penalties as they will want to, Drogon will want to get past B-Plays and be in P5. That will be a handy amount of points for his championship career at the moment. But look at the kick Sauber, 5.5 seconds, and he is really motoring on nicely. Is the kick Sauber. I feel it's important we stay with him, but Drogon is actually getting the overtake done on B-Plays for P5, as got the overtake done fairly early. I'm wondering if B-Plays made a mistake or whether he's playing DRS games with Drogon. But Drogon currently in P5, and B-Plays is having a look, but no, decides not to make that move. Lap 33 of 36. This is going to be very tight if Yanal keeps closing in the way he is at the moment. He's going to give Darius a real headache on these final laps. And remember, Yanal does have to overtake Darius and finish over a second ahead of him to claim this race win. And the gap is 3.9 seconds, and it's ferociously coming down over these last few laps. Very interesting. Yanal must be taking the life out of these hard tyres. Something rotten as he comes round turn 6, and this is turn 7. 2 left-handers. Turn 8. Up to turn 9 as he takes as much curb to open up this corner nicely. 2.8 seconds is the gap to 2.6 seconds. Wow. Just look how fast he is going compared to Darius out in the lead. There is a driver in the pits, and that is Stephen down in P8. Again, Drogon and B-Plays are doing battle at the back here. Or is that... could be a lapped car. Sorry, I do apologise. It is a lapped car. But Drogon and B-Plays are in close proximity coming across the line. But this is where we want to be on these final 2 and a bit laps now. Drogon gets a time penalty as if Darius gets a time penalty, that will almost be almost certainly race over for him. But Yanao needs to get this overtake done and will need to clear Darius by a second, and Darius will fight with everything he has got to make sure it is he claims this race win. There's a Ferrari at the back who just triggered some yellow flags, but nothing being done there, as it's too late for any VSCs or safety cars now. So it is a straight shootout to the end of this Grand Prix. Now is within a second. Just look at the pace on that kick Sauber. Absolutely terrifying, as Jalmel has gone for an excursion into the gravel by the looks of things. So you're now on the back of Darius. What does Darius do? You now could have DRS and absolutely blitz him in a minute. Or will Darius play DRS games and try and follow now around this circuit? But that's a dangerous game to play. I wouldn't know what I'd do here. You feel the inevitable's about to happen, and well, we will see. We are just starting lap 36 of 36. We're on the final lap of this Austria Grand Prix. Across the line they go, and now Yanislav backs out of that move, and he's got all the work to do on this lap, as he isn't opening DRS. Yanislav is happy to stay behind Darius and maybe is going to blow him away. Oh, and Darius turns in on Yanal there. They are having a bit of contact, and now Yanal opens his DRS and tries to drop Darius. Darius is getting a slipstream as he looks to make a lunge at the inside, but lunging like that will only waste time, as now here we go. Darius is maybe that lunge is going to potentially cost him. Yanal is flying. Now he is in the lead and he could get this done. This is absolutely insane by the kick Sauber. He has got a second, as Darius will be absolutely furious with himself maybe for maybe going very defensive there. Yanal comes up to the line to win in Austria, as yes, Yanal doesn't take that time penalty, as Formula Phantom is going to come home in P3, as another great result for the Racing Bull is on the podium again. Womax is going to come home in P4, as he crosses the line. A superb drive from Womax. B-Plays and Jalmel are the last few drivers to cross the line here. Drogon came home in 7th, I believe. So Jalmel, the last driver to cross the line to end this Austrian Grand Prix. And he comes home in P6. And there we have it. So Yanal takes the top step on the podium. Darius in P2. And apologies to P3. Formula Phantom. Sorry, my mind went completely blank. Formula Phantom in P3. As the drivers spray each other with champagne. But we will have a look at what the race stats, the final race results. Yanal is the race winner. Got the fastest lap. The game gave him driver of the day. Most overtakes went to Yanal. Cleanest driver to Womax. Right, so Yanal finishes first and with the fastest lap of 1 minute 6.257. Darius in second. Formula Phantom in third. Womax in fourth. B-Plays in fifth. Jalmel in sixth. Drogon in seventh. Stephen in eighth. James in ninth. And Denz and Dennis DRK are our two drivers who are unclassified. So 9 finishers out of 11 drivers for this Austria Grand Prix. So that was our final race of 2025 as everything starts ticking over to 2026. The last thing for me to do is declare a driver of the day. I'm not going to go for any of the podium finishers. I'm going to go for Womack as driver of the day in P4, not to get any track limits penalties. I'm sure the drivers on the podium will be happy with a podium. Womack gets my driver of the day for no track limit penalties. Great drive and a solid result for him at the very end there. Right, so I believe we have got a 2 week break now. Obviously, next Wednesday evening will be Christmas Eve, and I don't think many people will be racing. And yeah, just we'll be in that period where nobody knows what day it is in between Christmas and New Year. It's all kind of a blur. So we'll be back after that, and our next track after Austria, I will quickly fire it up on the Discord. Apologies. All right, so the calendar. Next, we are off to Mexico. So another track limit dependent Grand Prix. So it will be very interesting to see how things fare out there. Thank you very much for tuning in and watching. If you've got this far, your support and views are ever so appreciated. Please feel free to give the stream a like and drop us a follow on YouTube. Yeah, that's everything for me to say, I believe. So thank you very much for tuning in, and a great race that was. Have a very Merry Christmas. If you don't celebrate Christmas, have a happy holidays. It's great to commentate on this league. Thank you very much, and take care, everybody. Have a good time off.